So we're at the next stage, aren't we? We need to start to write our measures. We need to begin to use DAX. Hi, my name's Ross, the creator and founder of Geordie Consulting and Geordie Intelligence, the YouTube channel you're watching right now. We've got to a point, haven't we, where we've kind of done as much as we can in terms of basics of modelling. But I think one of the things that you have to understand with modelling is the reason why we do it this way is because it makes it easier to do the DAX. So to do the data analytics expressions that we need to make our models work and to actually analyse our data. But until you start to see the two interact together, it doesn't make sense. So we've kind of covered the theory. Well, this is why we model it this way. But it doesn't really express it until you see how DAX works with those. So let's go and have a look at that today. So here we are, looking at the Excel flat file version. Yeah, we've got everything just put into one table. And this is, for a lot of people, where they're going to start their journey with Power BI. And this is where I see a lot of people coming to it from. Well, we do stuff in Excel. I'm used to doing it in Excel. That's how my mind works. Nothing wrong with that. But this is where we need to kind of understand, okay, what's going on behind the scenes? So behind the scenes, what we would look to do, for example, is we'd be saying, well, if we come along here, if we come along here a little bit, let's zoom in, make sure we've got enough visible. It should be, yeah. We've got a rating date. Okay, so we've got a date that the inspection actually took place in. So what we would probably want to do, isn't it, is we'd want to be able to say, oh, this date has come through as date, as text, great. But we'd want to say, well, how many took place in a month, wouldn't we? So we'd say, well, what's a month? So what's happening there, right? Let's unpack what's going on with that. What's actually happening is that we're saying where it say equals 2025-05. Okay, so we can do it even with a text filter. So we can say begins with 2025-05. Okay, and it'll then filter those down to show us the values from what's going on. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to restart this thing. Something's going on with Excel. Let's zoom in a bit. So we've gone to 2025-05. So what have we done really behind the scenes? Let's zoom in here because I think this is the bit that's vital, isn't it? So we filtered, we're down to 87 rows of our 2,689 rows. So what we're doing with analysis is we're filtering the table. Okay? This is the bit we need to understand. So because we're filtering the table, what we really want to be doing is saying, how can we minimize the amount that we have to play with and tinker with and do stuff like that with? But then we have to understand, well, we've filtered based on dates. We have day dates, don't we, in the inspection period. What we really want to do is, well, today I want to look at months. Today I want to look at years. I'm not going to say necessarily I want to look at just days. I want to look at breakdowns of those. So in essence, what we're doing is we're filtering the filter, aren't we? So we're saying, well, for all we've got all these days, this is what we're going to filter. We just use a subset of those, which is a reason for having dimensions, because what a dimension does is it allows you to have that lowest point of connection. So a day that you're going to connect into your data set with, a day, a product ID, and then you can actually combine those entities together. So we could say, well, how many of product X or of type what did we do? So for here, we would be able to say, well, we talked about this in terms of May 2025. How many restaurants did we do? How many mobile caterers did we do, for example? Okay, we did one. So suddenly we're able to do this to quickly narrow it down. But what we might have is ways of combining multiple things together, which is potentially what I think is going on with some of these, the way these are broken down. So like school, college, university, we can, pull these together. But it's getting to that point where we're bringing together data sets in such a way that it makes it really easy for us to say, right, we wanted these is what we wanted to know. Because what we're probably going to want to know is, say, if we look at restaurants and takeaways over this period of time, what was the average value that they had? What was the average rating of them? You know, is the average rating improving? Is it going down? So we can see we had a couple of 4s in there, even had a 1. Wow, okay. You know, so we can get to that picture where we're starting to build up and say, right, I start to understand what's going on. But this is why we data model. So what we're really saying is we take the information that we're going to use to filter and put it somewhere else, okay? And we take the information that we're going to analyze and we build that into fact tables so that we've just got something really simple. Because if you remember, we have business type ID, we have rating value, and we have the rating date that we keep. And then those point back to different dimensions so that we can then start to really analyze and see what's going on with that data over time. And that's kind of key. That's the vital part of it. So let's have a look at some simple DAX measures that we could do, okay? So if we come back to here, let's zoom back out again, all right? So the first thing we would talk about, and this is one we talk about, so I've created this new one which is for here. So you're going to hide it from the view. This is always useful to be able to know that you can do that. You can hide tables, you can hide entities from the view. So one thing which I still recommend, and it's one that's kind of gone back and forth. Oh, gone the wrong way, sorry. So one thing that I still recommend, and it's one that's definitely gone back and forth and done, it's gone around the houses a few times now. But it is definitely, I'm still very much a fan of saying that we should still create a table in here for our measures to go, okay? So on the home page, look at this, yeah, we go to enter data here, right? Create a column, doesn't need a name. I'm just going to call this DAX Expressions, okay? Now, this time we're just going to click load, okay? And that's going to create me a nice table over here called DAX Expressions. What I'm going to do first, I'm just going to create a measure in here because you need one in to do the next thing. So we're going to create a new measure. We'll do a simple measure, shall we? So let's start with the simplest measure. Okay, so we're going to call that businesses equals, okay? That's going to be count rows. Where do we need to count them from? Okay, and it is establishments, isn't it? All right, so we're just going to do that. Count rows and establishments. Okay, it's going to be a whole number. I'm going to put the 1,000 separator in it just to make it simple. Okay, so we've now got a measure created in here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this. Okay, it's one of those things. You have to put a measure in before you can hide it, otherwise it hides the column. And you see it now creates it as a calculation. There's a different icon to it, which is where it's useful. For some context, the reason why I said it's being debated at the moment is this doesn't work very well for, or Copilot especially was struggling with the concept of a measures table. So there was a request to change and bring it and put the measures into folders within the fact tables. I don't believe in that. I think that's a real problem. And I think if we have to compromise for AI to do that, that's not a benefit to you as a person. It's not a benefit to me as a developer. I'm not a fan. That's my view. Feel free to disagree. Okay. So we've written our first measure. Okay. And we can go back, we can have a look at this and say, right, well, hang on, what's going on with this? Okay. Do we think we can work it out? Okay. So we're going to count the rows in a table. Okay, so that's all we're doing, counting the rows. So how many rows are in a table? Not difficult. What's the value add from that? I hear you say. So this is where it gets interesting. So if we come to here and we bring in business type, okay, so we've got all the business types here, and then we bring business in, what do you think would happen? Okay, and most of you are going to say, well, it'll do this, won't it? It'll put in the right number of businesses based on how many meet that criteria. And it will. Okay. So if we come into here now, we can show it as a table. right? And we zoom back out again. There's the table, so we can actually zoom in there. Okay, so what's going on is it's building a table, isn't it? So Power BI is building a pivot table for those from an Excel background. Every time we build a visual, okay, there's a pivot table behind the scenes. So pivot table is there. So, you know, if you access days or your cross-tab query, that's kind of what's going on. We are querying the data to build the table. Okay? There's a pivot table structure to it. So what's being done at this point is it's saying, go and evaluate businesses, but it's handing it the context of restaurants, cafes, canteens. So we're already saying, let's filter that based on this, okay? And we know it's doing that because if I zoom out of here, again, when I can find the right button, today, if I zoom out of here and I say, well, let's remove business type, we get the number, okay? We drop it in, we get the chart. Remove, in, drop in, yeah? Okay. So we can see we've got that. We could look and we could say, well, what we want is where rating value, we bring this into here, where rating value is, let's say, awaiting publication. So we've got one awaiting publication, or we could say awaiting inspection. So we can see there's different ways going through. This allows you to start to see, hang on, there are calculations being done that are happening against a context that you are not necessarily aware of, okay? So we could even go and say, right, let's take this out. Let's put in rating value, okay? Put it in as a legend here, it's great. We could turn around and say, well, actually I want it let's make it a bit more obvious, a matrix table. So we've got something like going on here, pieced together. It's very quick, it's very easy. I haven't evaluated how these work. And this is one of the things that we see a lot, or that I see a lot, is when people first start, they overthink. They don't think through, or they don't appreciate that the way DAX works, the way Power BI works with the tabular models in particular, this is the thing, the tabular models, the tabular scheme, and DAX expressions together allow context to flow into the visuals. So what it means is you don't need lots of measures. Okay, you will end up with lots, but you're not embedding filters into your measures unless there's a very specific reason. So we can now try something different, can't we? So we could turn around and say, well, what's this going to be? Now, I would say let's do the average rating, but because of there being text values in it, because of other things, it's a bit difficult. This is why we would need to really put ratings as a separate table, separate dimension table, but I wanted you to understand that. So let's put in and see what we would kind of get if we did that. Okay, because this is what you'd want to know. What's the average rating of insert business type here, or the average rating in the area, wouldn't it? So we can see this, okay, AVG rating equals average ratings, rating value, okay? And this won't work, okay, because it's text. So we need to do some other things, some more complicated things. But what we could say is, well, we can go and we can create a new one here, okay, using one which isn't text. AVG structure equals, okay? Oh, what am I doing? Average ratings structural. Okay, and these are things which go on subcomponents of it. Okay, so we could see, right? So what we can then do is we can zoom back out of here and we can see, right, if we go in and we bring in business type, okay, and then we bring in where is it here? Average structural, we get a measure for it. Okay, so there's stuff that goes through for this. In isolation, it's pretty meaningless. But the point with this is that the context is flowing through. This is the bit you need to do. And this is what's referred to as filter context. Okay, and filter context is how Power BI works. So your simple standard measures can be used and reused and reused. The examples that you'll find in terms of where things start to get complicated typically are around things like use relationships, which we haven't really got a need to do it in here because there's no different relationships would have. But a classic example would be if you're looking at, say, ticket tracking. So either for a service desk, it could be for your ERP system, it could be for your CMS. So, for your customer management system, for your relationship management system, that kind of thing, where it's actually tracking different dates that you've got around clients. So when did they last order? When did they last do this? When did they last do that? You have different date values that you might want to evaluate against. And context there is then just as important, because different areas of your business will focus on different dates, potentially. So if you think about what I mean, so if we looked at, say, an order management system, okay, our sales team are interested in how many sales did we get in a month. That's what their bonuses are going to be based on. That's what their performance is based on. So monthly sales. If we looked at our warehouse team or our shipping team, they'd be looking at how many dispatches do we have a month. Yeah, so how many of orders did we process? What was processed and shipped out the door each month? Different dates. And then finally you'd get your finance team, who potentially, given, bearing in mind if you're a big business, or I think you might have like a 30-day period on your invoices, so they might actually care about what was paid in the month, what came in, what actually came in, not what was promised, what actually came in. And then we look at the differences in terms of how long does it take to ship, how long does it take to get paid. These are things that you go through, and that's then where you would use the same as this kind of a measure, but you would use a calculate for it, and then you'd do something else with it. So let's do that now to get this average rating to work. This is one of those reasons where we need to then go back and revisit our model, because what will happen here is we need something else that will give it an average number that it can use. So as I say, if we brought average ratings in here, let's move structural, let's bring in ratings, we get an error, we can look into the error and we can see, yeah, it doesn't work because it's a string in terms of the average, which they're string values. So we need to work out how we would give it an integer value set that it could then use to evaluate. So what we can do is we can say, right, the easiest way would be, this is where we definitely have that ratings as a separate dimension for it. But for the sake of this, what can we do? We can go through and we can do this badly. So we'll do it badly, and you'll see, kind of hopefully start to see, right, okay, we need to work out, I can see where this is causing us problems. So if we went through and we said, right, let's go to insert here. Sorry, my mind went blank for a second there, because this is not how I would normally do it. Modeling, let's pick the right thing. We want ratings, and let's go to add a new column. Okay, so we're going to insert, create a column. Okay, I'm going to call that int ratings equals. Okay, now calculate columns are DAX expressions as well. Okay, so they're going to be evaluated. And we're doing this terribly. We're putting a calculated column on a fact table. So not only are we doing calculated columns, which are should be almost your last resort, but we're doing it on a fact table, which is definitely something you should never, ever, ever do. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to say this equals value, so the value of rating value. Yeah, is what we want them to be. So hit enter on that, and I'm sure it's going to say don't like it because some aren't numbers. So what we would look to do then is say switch true. My goodness me, this is so hard. This is not how I would normally do this. Switch true. So true. Let's say not is error. Okay. So we want that to then be value, rating value. Okay, so what we're saying is where it's not an error, not is error, yeah, do that. Oh. Otherwise, let's go blank. My goodness me. Okay, and close brackets. So what that's led to is if we come here, we can see we've got here, we've got ones, and we've got blanks where we've got other things. Okay, so blanks where it's either awaiting inspection or other things. So we've got something that's going to work for us. Okay, as I say, this is why you would do something else. But we've built a column that's now going to be evaluated row by row for each thing when we build the table. So we slow it down. Okay, there's an impact on this in terms of the model development as well. There's some other things going on as well, but this, what you need to know is this is being evaluated. Every row is going to be evaluated that we do for this. So we've added 2,500 calculations into our measure or into our table just to build it. Once it's built, that's done. Okay, so there are times when you use calculated columns to avoid lookups or anything like that. So we want to do a lookup to a ratings table and piece it together from there. So from here, we can now come back to our average ratings here and we say, don't want that, we want this on the int ratings. Okay, and suddenly, boom, we get something. All right, now those are integers, but what we want this to be, it's not a whole number, we want this to be a decimal number with 2 decimal places. Okay, because it's an average, so of course it's going to be a decimal number, isn't it? Okay, so 5 for farmers, we come down, see, okay, so we've got ratings now coming through, okay, and we can see everything keeps working, but we've had to think through, and we've put something in that we can clearly see. The sensible thing would be to actually have something off to the side. So what do you think? Okay, it's vital that you start to understand that the filter context that goes on with DAX is the power of DAX. It's the power of Power BI. The way that you establish and build your visuals will control the responses that come out from your DAX expressions. Okay, and as you can see, we suddenly went down this route, putting in extra table or extra column to make something work. And that's wrong. And you can even see me struggling to write, well, what am I going to do? Because it's just not something I would do now. We've all been there as we learnt to do DAX, and as we still write DAX expressions, there are ways to optimize it. We even saw, I went through and looked at this, went, this isn't potentially the right way. It does what I need it to do, but potentially if I exposed this to my business, said, right, you guys can now use this, it's going to break things because people won't know to apply that filter. How do we tell people, make sure you only do this, you only do that? The best way is we embed that in the DAX expression. So that lookup value, we need to go through and make sure that we've got some mechanism that then is going to make sure it doesn't turn the wrong things back. So we could, instead of using an ordinal, we could put in a value to calculate in that table. And that's not difficult to do. It's really easy, quite actually, add a column. If it's this, do this. You could even do like a len column, or as we did with that calculated column. And even if we put a calculated column into a small table like that, 8 rows, the evaluation of that is minimal in terms of the impact it's going to have on the whole model, as opposed to saying, well, we're going to do it on a fact table, it's over 2,000 rows. And if you think if we scaled this up to the 500,000 food establishments there are in England, that's a big impact, huge difference. 8 calculations versus 500,000. And this is one of the things we see as we get through and we start to work with clients, is that initial, I'm not sure, at least I'm just going to create a new thing, do this, do that, because that's how we do it in Excel. And it's not. It's a case of understanding your modeling. And then because we're using dimensions which pull that back, that's what's given us the ability to do an 8-row calculation or evaluation if we had to do it, as opposed to doing something else. If we went through and we said, right, we're going to do an evaluation based on that value here, for all DAX and Power BI have got very good, and the structure of it where it brings together, similar to Zip where it looks for unique item or distinct items, you can effectively end up going through row by row. And this is one of those things, you need to be really aware of what's going on with the calculation steps. But don't worry about calculate steps for now. So we've got this concept, haven't we? We need to do this. So what I thought we would do next week is let's go back, let's recreate this model properly, and let's put in all the tables we need. We'll do it a lot quicker than we did last week, and we'll put everything together. But this time we're going to do it from that point where I know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it this particular way. Yeah? Excellent. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, okay? Leave a comment down below. Tell me, are we going at the right pace for you? Are we going too fast? Are we going too slow? I need to know, I need to understand. The point of this series is to help business users really understand what's going on within Power BI and within DAX for them. So for now, stay safe, take care, ta-da.